You need to think about what the question is asking. And let's do a very short review quickly of what the key points are. I'm supposed to know how this parent function moves. The parent function in this problem is a radical, the square root. All right, and so I start looking. Well, that makes it go down 7. That makes it go left 6. And that makes it compress. So all of those things I was supposed to know. This is a radical or a square root. It went down 7, it went left 6, and it compresses. If I look at this one, I'm supposed to know this is a quadratic. If it's a quadratic, that is up 4, that is left 3, and that is a reflection over the x-axis. Right? Okay. I'm supposed to know that this is absolute value. This is up 2. This is right 3. And this is a stretch. If I put a negative in front of it, that would be a reflect. All those things you're supposed to know. And remember, this part right here feels very backwards. It's the opposite. My head said we went left 3, but what did we do? We went right 3. So what if I just get words? What if I get absolute value, left 7, up 6, reflect? What if I just get the words? Well, I have to do the absolute value first, so I know it's absolute value. That's the parent function for absolute value. Then I start doing things to it. Left 7, that is plus 7. Now your head right there said left. You thought about making it negative, but you know it's not negative, it's positive. Now outside the function is up and down, so that's plus 6. And if it reflects over the x-axis, that's a negative. If it has a compression by 1/3, I put the 1/3 right there because it's a multiplier. That's function notation. We should know all about function notation. All right, domain and range. Domain, right, and range. Range is up and down. So let's look at what I have. Let's do domain first. Well, I know that the lowest thing in my picture on the x-axis, because domain is x, is -4. So my domain starts with -4. Now if you notice, this goes forever. This keeps going forever that way and forever up. So how do I say forever? Well, that's an infinity sign. Do you ever get to infinity? No, so that's a parentheses. What about this 4 right, -4 right here? Well, this open circle tells me I cannot use that as a solution. -4 is not a solution. So to tell people it's not a solution, I put a parentheses. All right. Now we're going to look at range. Range is up and down. And so I colored my little sticky note, and I found that the lowest thing in my picture was -2. Now we talked about this goes forever up, doesn't it? It doesn't stop. There's no stopping point. So if it starts at -2, it ends at infinity. If I look at -2 over here, That's an open circle, so that's a parentheses, and infinity is a bracket. Okay? Now let's do a nice easy one. Something very simple like this right here. Okay, so if I am doing domain, I might put my little sticky note right here and right here, and I realize I start at -4, I stop at 3. Now, that's hard for you to see, I get, but what I want to talk about is parentheses and brackets. That open circle at -4, that's a parentheses. Closed circle at 3, that's a bracket. So now let's do range. Range is up and down. So again, I do my little sticky note. The lowest thing in my picture is -1. The highest thing in my picture is 3. At -1, it is a closed circle, so that is a bracket. At 3, it is an open circle, and that's a parentheses. Alright, so that's domain and range. Inverses, what are we supposed to do? Well, it doesn't matter what we do. If they give us a picture, we're going to make a table. If they give us an equation, we're going to make a table. If they give us a graph, we're still going to make a table. So the first thing we're going to do is make a table. I usually do kind of a -3 to +3 just to kind of get started. You can choose any numbers you want, and my calculator does it for me, so that's kind of nice. -17, -12, -7, -2, okay, 3, 8, and 13. Now, how do I do the inverse? What do I do to the table? Well, if this was x and this was y, now what do I do? Well, these are now x's. -17, -12, -7. Now I go over here for x's, and now what are they? Y's. -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So whatever they give me, if they ask for the inverse, what's the very first thing I'm going to do? Make a table. That right there will probably tell me what I need to know. Very quickly, this is a text message. It's telling you something. It's telling you take -3 and put it in for x. I take -3 and I put, so now 2 times -3 is -6 minus 7, and that is -13. This is a text message. It tells me what to do. And I think that's about it. We've done everything. You need to read carefully, and you need to go slowly. Don't just grab an answer and go. There are short answers, and you have to completely prove your answer. If there's no work, there's no credit. I can give at least half credit if you'll just give me some information that I can work with. Short answers do not go on your Scantron. I grade those.